And now joining me on WION Newsroom, Adya Juneja, who will give us all the insights in the world of business. Miraj Shah, who will update us on the developments in tech. And Atira Sasidharan, who will get us all the updates from the world of sports. And we begin by going over to Adya for the market updates.
Well, thank you, Deeksha. Christmas euphoria is shaping investor sentiment today, with US stocks hitting fresh record highs. But what's really struck gold are precious metals. Gold is having its best year since 1979, climbing nearly 71% in 2025. Investors are flocking to the yellow metal amid geopolitical tensions, from Russia's war in Ukraine to flare-ups in Gulf and ongoing tariff pressures. Central banks led by China are increasing gold holdings to reduce reliance on US assets, while expectations of Fed rate cut and a weaker dollar make gold even more appealing. Analysts at JP Morgan predict prices could surpass $5,000 an ounce in 2026, with some projecting a climb to $6,000. Precious metals like silver, platinum and palladium are also seeing huge gains. And now from precious metals to your favorite morning drink. Coffee prices closed mixed this week, with Arabica seeing some technical selling after a brief recovery. Flooding in Indonesia threatens a 15% reduction in Arabica exports, while Robusta supplies remain stable. US coffee buyers are cautious after previous tariff on Brazilian imports, tightening domestic supply. Meanwhile, Brazil's coffee output forecast has risen to 56.5 million bags for 2025, while Vietnam projects a record Robusta harvest. Global coffee exports are slightly down year-on-year, signaling tightening supply that could support prices in 2026. Speaking of volatility, Morgan Stanley says widespread layoffs in 2026 could be avoided if US firms continue raising prices. Many companies reduce hiring in early 2025 to manage tariff pressures without passing costs to consumers. In the second half of 2025, companies across sectors were hiking prices, helping profitability and potentially limiting layoffs. The bank predicts existing tariffs could push core inflation to 3% in early 2026. However, consumer tolerance is the key. If buyers resist higher prices, firms may be forced to cut jobs. And finally, the Trump administration is recruiting tech talent for new AI-focused government program called Tech Force. Around 25,000 candidates have expressed interest for 1,000 positions, which will place software and data engineers in federal agencies, including Homeland Security and Justice. Recruits will spend 2 years on technology projects aimed at modernizing government systems. Tech Force aims to attract skilled talent, but with a strong AI emphasis. And that's a wrap from the world of business. Now for all the tech updates, it's over to you, Miraj.
Thank you, Adya. Now, Amazon Web Services has faced a fresh outage on Thursday, disrupting digital services across parts of the United States and India. Now, outage tracker Down Detector said reports spiked at around 8:41 p.m. EST, with more than 4,000 users flagging issues in the United States. In India, fewer reports were logged, but users in cities including Bengaluru, Mumbai and New Delhi said services were affected. Now, the impact was most visible on online gaming platforms. Users in the US reported platforms like Fortnite, Arc Raiders and Rocket League were down. Complaints included login failures, matchmaking errors, server timeouts. Interestingly, AWS has said that the outage was an inaccurate speculation of an unrelated event and that its services were operating normally. Now, according to news reports, OpenAI is testing a new ChatGPT feature called Skills, aimed at adding reusable, task-specific capabilities to the AI model. Now, the feature is similar to Anthropic's Claude's Skills, the same name again, which allows users to teach the AI model structured workflows and very domain-specific abilities. Now, until now, ChatGPT has relied on custom GPTs, which are prompt-based and designed for specific cases. The new feature, which is codenamed Hazelnuts, will work as slash commands with a dedicated skills editor. Users may also be able to customize existing GPTs for personalized specific tasks. The feature is still in testing, with a public rollout expected by early 2026. Finally, NVIDIA has signed a non-exclusive licensing deal with AI chip maker Grok, which is spelled as GROQ, not to be confused with the XAI model Grok. Now, this is a US-based artificial intelligence chip company that develops language processing units, or LPUs, which can run AI models faster and with far less energy than traditional GPUs. Now, as part of the deal, NVIDIA will hire the AI hardware company's founder, Jonathan Ross, President Sunny Madra, and other senior employees, and get a non-exclusive license for its chip technology. NVIDIA has clarified that the deal, which is valued at about $20 billion, is not an acquisition. whatever remains of Grok will continue to operate as an independent company. That's all we have for you from Tech Today. Now over to Athira for sports.
Thank you so much, Miraj. Here are the top sports stories we're tracking for you at this hour. We'll begin with cricket first. Australia have named the squad of 12 for the Boxing Day Test Ashes at the iconic Melbourne Cricket Ground. The Aussies have already wrapped up the series after taking a 3-0 lead and opted for an all-pace attack. Remember, veteran spinner Nathan Lyon is ruled out with an injury and Todd Murphy has not made the cut. That means that Jay Richardson is set to make his Test comeback, while one of Michael Nesser and Brendan Doggett could also feature. Australia will be led by Stephen Smith in absence of their regular skipper Pat Cummins. Staying with cricket, South Africa's captain Bavuma has spoken about the derogatory comments made about his height by Indian players Bumrah and Pant. In a column on ESPN Cricket Info, Bavuma said that both players had apologized to him. The incident happened during the first test in Kolkata. Bumrah and Pant were talking about an LBW appeal and mentioned Bahuma's height. Bavuma said that there are no hard feelings, but while what happens on the field stays on the field, you don't forget what is said. Over in football now, Ivory Coast made a winning start to their African Cup of Nations title defense. The holders defeated Mozambique 1-0. The Elephants started off strong but squandered off several chances to take a lead. Manchester United forward Amad Diallo provided relief to the defending champions when he struck 4 minutes after the restart. Ivory Coast are aiming to become the first defending champion since Egypt in 2010 to retain the title. And for Mozambique, they are still to win a match at the final, stretching back to their debut in the tournament in 1986. And lastly, Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes is set to face a spell on the sidelines after picking up an injury. United manager Ruben Amorim has confirmed that Fernandes, along with Mayuno, will miss Friday's Premier League clash against Newcastle. Fernandes was forced off during Sunday's 2-1 defeat at Aston Villa after suffering a hamstring problem. Amorim admitted it is impossible to replace Fernandes, but hopes his absence will provide an opportunity for other players to step up, take leadership responsibility and fill his role in midfield. Well, with that, we've come to the end of the sports segment. It's back to you, Diksha.
Thank you so much, Athira, Miraj and Adia, for getting us all those updates from the world of business, tech and sports.